So we have generated 30 leads per day using only organic content, organic marketing from one single profile. Doesn't matter if it's Instagram or if it's Facebook, but for this example, it was Facebook. And we want to show you how we did that.
Today's episode, we are digging into organic marketing, how organic lead generation, because I think there's a lot of people who are feeling stuck in how to get new leads if I don't pay for it. And a lot of people are running into start paying or start doing different things that make them feel salesy or just too much. So we're going to speak about what to do. How are you going to attract your avatar into what you do and start the right kind of people and be able to start conversations and actually get leads to move into sales calls and eventually move them into becoming clients.
Yeah.
We have 4 different things we want to go through. But before we dig into that, I'm curious. If we go outside of business right now, what are you most excited about right now?
So I don't know if you've watched the earlier episodes, but a lot of it is about Thailand right now. So I woke up this morning with a sore throat. We're going to Thailand literally the day after tomorrow. I'm stuck and I have a headache and I feel like, and I think it's because we're getting closer to the trip where we're actually going to be able to just let go of everything and relax. Everything for me is around Thailand, and more specifically what our kids are going to feel experiencing a new culture that they've never been in, and see animals they've never seen, and see landscape and feel the humidity, and experience a culture with, according to me, one of the nicest people in the world.
I think I'm more excited than the kids are.
Yeah. Well, yeah.
You come from a place of your love language is giving presents.
Yeah.
So it's being able to give this. And I'm coming from a place that it's been my biggest thing on my bucket list, and my wife for all the years I've been running businesses. And I've been running businesses for more than 20 years, since my oldest son, who's 23 now, since he was a baby on the arm, going to the first meetings and being with me everywhere. That first business, I went bankrupt during the financial crisis. And then I became a lone mom with a couple of kids. And then I started other businesses. And I never got to the place where it was actually possible until I built this business. It became possible when we started this business, start making more money. And we got a great business. And then came COVID. So after the world opened up again, the kids are big. They got jobs, they got girlfriends, they got their own life, and they didn't want to join us when we were going on these long travels. And we've been traveling a lot inside of Europe, but we've never been able to find that place where we could travel for a couple of weeks and going.
We were able to take our daughter to Mexico.
Yeah, and the boys didn't want to.
But the boys didn't want to come because they wanted to be home, which is, so okay, fair enough. They did regret it slightly after, but this is the first opportunity where we get to take all of them.
Yeah.
We've done shorter trips, like you say, in Europe. We've been to Italy and Greece and stuff, but it's just a different climate and a different culture to take them to Asia. But for me, it's also really exciting because you've been to Asia, you've been backpacking and doing a big journey and trip through Indonesia and so on. But I've been experiencing Thailand a lot. So for me, it's also fun to get to show you how to experience Thailand.
So it's our first holiday going outside of Europe as a family of 5.
Yeah, and it's also a surprise how expensive it is to travel with 5 people.
Yeah, so when you look at all of these fitness trainers, fitness coaches in Bali, you just wait, guys. You get 3 kids and see how things will be different.
And travel with them. Yeah, it's going to be fun. Yeah, you'll learn something. Really cool. Let's dive into today's episode. We're going to talk about lead generation. We're going to talk about organic lead generation. And I want to put in there very quickly that no matter what kind of marketing machine you're running it today, you need to have a social channel for people to go back to. Saying if you're running ads right now, but you don't have an organic funnel that complements it or that adds to that, you're leaving money on the table.
And you're vulnerable. First of all, you pay way too much. Your profit is probably not really good. You're paying very expensively for your leads and your clients. And you are also leaving money. There's so many leads you can do without paying for them. It's just a more expensive game.
Yeah. And you're missing out on all the relationship building, connecting, building phases that we do organically that you can't really do with paid ads. because it's not personal. If this is the first episode you hear, it's going to be super important for you to follow along and implement these 4 things.
Yeah, and the funny thing, what we're speaking about here will work for if you're just starting up, but it will also work for you who are already doing consistent 10, 20K a month.
Even more.
Yeah, and even more, like to upgrade those things, because there's some small things we can do all of the time to upgrade our organic lead gen. And we definitely are not afraid of running ads, but let's share with you what we're doing right now, because what we're doing is that we got tired of spending a lot of money top of funnel on our lead gen. We are doing more organically top of funnel lead gen, and then we do retargeting. So it's middle of funnel ads to a warmer market, which means that our ad cost is way more down. The cost per lead getting into our emails are way cheaper now than they were before, because we are not targeting top of funnel. We use our organic more on that. And then we use the organic also for the brand width, building up our brand on getting out to more people, building a stronger brand.
Yeah.
This episode is for you who already are using your social media, but maybe not getting enough out of it. And there might be some lacking holes that we need to...
Lacking holes.
or some holes we need to...
Duct tape.
Duct tape. And even for you who are literally just starting up. So doesn't really depend on the level you're at. And we can add more depending on. So I would rather say, do all of this if you're new. If you already doing 20K a month, 30K a month, do the same thing, but do it on different platforms. The first thing, to be able to do this, you need to let go of the idea that it's okay to just go online and do something, just do spray and pray, do some content, and people will probably like you and find you and write to you. It's 2025. Yeah. It doesn't work like that. You cannot sit back and be reactive and just hoping for things to come to you. You need to be proactive. You want to control your business, lead your business, and create your business. You need to be proactive in your marketing, in your lead gen, which means that you need to take advantage of all possibilities there is out there, and you need to improve all of the time. Things change, how we do content. So whatever you're listening to us saying right here, and we're probably going to do an update in 6 months, because there'll probably be some different things.
That works better.
Core 4 things we want to look at. Let's start with number 1. The first thing you do is that you need to look at your profile. If your profile is not updated to take in leads, well, it's probably not going to give you the leads you really want. So what do we need to do about our profile? Now, I would say the essence of this is the same on all platforms, and then there's small differences to where you put it.
Yeah, and how you do it.
Where you put it in on the different platforms. But all of the things we go through now, you put in on all platforms, which means that you need to have a banner. If you are using LinkedIn or if you're using Facebook, you need to have a professional banner. Remember, today, people come into your social media. That is your website. That's where you can communicate everything to anyone who comes in there. You do not need to have a website on the side before way into the business.
If you have a website, you need to drive traffic to it. If you need to drive traffic to it, you need to take them from somewhere and drive them to your website. If you already have them somewhere, then don't drive them to your website, because you're literally pushing them away.
Yeah.
So if you're using your social media and you have a following and you have people that like you, make sure that you connect with them. Hang out where they are. Don't try to come hang out with me in school. I've set up a free school thing over here. Because the moment you do that, you lose them, because they don't know who you are. If they're hanging out on Facebook or if they hang out on Instagram, then talk to them there, because they're already there. If you set up a website, it should be for landing pages, registrations.
For getting emails, getting people into your
giveaways and stuff like that.
Yeah, getting people into your email. So landing pages to register people onto your email list, absolutely fine. But old school websites, especially if you put on prices, this is what you can buy. Come and buy my stuff. This is my price. You're losing clients doing that.
100%.
So stop doing that. You have your social media, and that will do. The banner. Your banner needs to look professional. That's the first thing I see when I come into your profile. Who are you?
What do you do?
What do you do? What do you want me to feel? So make sure your banner is not like a picture of a beautiful landscape. So make sure your banner, first of all, have a professional picture of you in it. Have a very clear bio telling what do I get out of following you? What will I get out of following you?
What are you all about?
Yeah. Add some authority pieces, and you can even add a lead magnet. So you can drive traffic and make sure you speak, have your clear messaging, your clear bio, and have a hook to get something here. You need to have something that will attract them to want to get the thing you have. So that's the first place where you get people to actually reach out to you, because there's something that's interesting. If you're not utilizing this, you're losing those leads who are just curious, looking around and got curious about who you are. They saw something you did and now they're checking you out, and you are not getting them to reach out to you.
Yeah.
The second thing is your name. Your name, it's a keyword. This is where people go in and search for what you do. Make sure it says in your name what you do. Coach for what? A mindset coach, business coach for who? Make sure it's searchable, especially on Instagram. This is so highly important that you have this now.
Not as important on Facebook because it's personal in a very different way, but on Instagram 100%. But if you do that way on Instagram, then you need to update your Facebook accordingly, but differently. You need to make sure that that is included in your about section so that you can see. You can add a nickname on Facebook where you can put it in, which means that it's going to show up when they see your profile.
Exactly.
Because this is you showing up, taking a stand for what is it that you do, who is it that you help.
Yeah. Make sure your profile picture is professional picture.
Yes.
It needs to be clear and show what you do. If you're a fitness coach, make sure your profile shows your fitness coach.
Yeah. You can have a regular profile picture where you are showing your personality.
Yeah.
Calm, steady. Be someone that people would like to buy from. Your avatar trusts a certain amount of people. If you coach CEOs, big businesses, then don't have new age power pants, because that's not the people they look at. And at the same time, if you're a new age coach where you coach people with mantras and stuff like that, and that's who you help, don't have a suit on. It's a mismatch. So represent the person so that they find an instant liking in who you are.
Yeah. Make sure you have a very clear bio on Instagram. Make sure your bio that you put in some authority piece. You do it the same on the other profiles as well, on the other platforms. It needs to have some authority. It could be how many clients you have. It could be how many years of experience. So, and then you need to have, again, a lead magnet. And you can have that in your bio, both in Instagram and in LinkedIn. It's really good to have in your bio. And then, of course, we want to tell them very quickly what we do on Instagram. That means the first 3 posts on your profile, they should be pinned.
Yeah.
And they should tell 3 different things. One of them being, who are you? That's your story. That's your mission. Why should people trust you? Why do you do what you do? Second one being, what's the result you create for your clients? What would clients achieve by working with you? So a lot of client results. And then the third thing being, how do you help your clients to achieve the results? What is the process working with you? What's your program? What is it I get out of working with you? What would that look like?
What's your secret sauce?
Yeah. And on the other platforms, this is Instagram. On the other platforms, on LinkedIn, you can put it into your about text and you can put it into your featured text, which featured post. You can have 3 posts in your featured sections with these 3 different things. And on Facebook, you can pin one of them in the top, but you can have 3 featured stories on the side where you can put in these informations as well. If you're on Facebook, go in and find us on Facebook and send us a hi, just checking in. And do the same on Instagram. Take a look at how it's set up, do the same, and say hi to us.
Yeah.
Number 2 is the Millionaire content system. And that is really speaking about making sure we do great content, but all around kind of content. What would you say is the biggest mistake people do when they're doing content on their social media?
There are a few different biggest mistakes that I would like to categorize. The first one being leveraging AI, having AI write your stuff because it washes out your voice out of it. So it makes it less personal. People aren't going to recognize you. If they know you, they're not going to like it because they don't see you behind the words that are being used. The other one is what you talked about before, spray and pray. I'm just going to write about whatever. Yeah. And I'm going to make sure I'm going to make 1 post a day. Don't make a post a day. It's ridiculous. On Instagram, you could make more posts. Sure, we could argue that, blah, blah, blah. If you're currently making 0 posts a week, don't go for 7 posts a week, day 1 or first week. Do it simple and make sure that you can commit to the lowest standard of, I'm never going to be below this amount. And let's call it 3. We like 3 posts a week. Then you can do stories every day if you like. Let's pause stories for a second. But 3 posts a week. And when you make 3 posts a week, make sure that you're not just adding words into the universe. Have an idea. Say something that is of actual importance to you so that it is interesting for someone else to read.
Yeah.
It can be opinionated, it can be value, it can be educational, it can build trust, it can be proof, it can be a story.
So if we go into the Millionaire content system, there's 4 kind of posts we would always do. The thing is, if you just spray and pray, what will happen is you keep doing the kind of content that you're more familiar with. What's more natural for you. And for coaches, working with almost 900 coaches, we know what most coaches are more natural is what we call connection content, where you're just being you, showing your life and sharing yourself, or value content, giving away value, but you kind of forget the other 2. And if we quickly go through the 4 different pieces, first of all, connection content. The connection kind of content is where where we get to know who you are.
Yeah.
Who are you as a person? What do you stand for? What do you like? What are you against? What's your life like? What happens in your life?
What about family? What are you doing Saturday night? All of those things that are personal.
Yeah.
It shouldn't be all about your coaching business, but it shouldn't be all about your personal life either. So the connection piece is for them to get a key piece of who you are. And it can absolutely be about your coaching business, what you stand for your clients, etc.
Number 2 is value content. The value content is where you give advice, when you share experience. That's where you show up as the expert within your field.
Yeah, build authority.
That's where you build your authority. Absolutely really good. But also, if you only do that, you just become a free teacher. You're not moving people. You just become a free coach.
And the value posts aren't the ones that gets the most engagement.
No.
So you need to do it together with the connection pieces. The third one is proof.
Yeah.
And proof also builds authority. It's very, very important. So many people underestimates the importance of proof, where you actually speak about the results that you create through
your
your
case
clients,
studies.
through your clients or through your own work, what you're doing yourself, that you are building a business, that you have a lot of clients, that you have a lot of proof of concept, that you have clients that are successful. Because people need to be able to see that it works for other people.
Yeah. The 4th one is invites. And invites is where you invite them to come closer. These are where you are inviting them to join your events, inviting them to join your program, invite them to come on sales calls, invite them to
download a PDF,
get something of value from you, where they reach
anything.
We want to use all 4 of them, but right now the connection piece will give you most engagement. The value piece will build up your expertise. Your proof will have them trust that what you're selling, the program that you're selling, is actually working. And the invite will make them raise their hand and show, I'm interested, I'm curious, I'm your avatar, I want to get closer to you. So if you're leaving any of these ones out, well, you're not utilizing the full potential of your social media. We want to use all of them. And let's dig down to the one where you can get the leads, the clear leads, where you get people to raise their hand and say, yeah, that's me. I'm interested. I'm curious. And that's in your invites. And what we see right now is the best working ones is what we call micro-win magnets.
Yeah.
And a micro-win magnet is solving a tiny problem they have very close to them right now. Let me give an example.
Well, it's a micro win.
It's a micro win.
It's a small win within whatever area that you help your avatar achieve.
An example is, because if you look back, I think the biggest change that has happened for coaches, what they experienced the last year, is that 2 years ago, if you had a webinar, workshop, or challenge, or any event, you could literally go out and write a piece of paper or post about, hey, I'm having this event. Who wants to join? And you would have 80 people raising their hand. I'm in. Today, that's not the case for most people.
No.
It's different. And why? Because there is so many events out there, but also raising your hand to an event. First of all, you need to be really warm. The longer the event is and the more time they need to risk or spend on your event, the warmer they need to be and the more they need to like what you trust you already. Which means it's harder for them to raise their hand because the risk for them is always they're going to waste some time. Talking about your program, hey, come and buy my program. Well, again, high risk thing to say because everyone understands that, well, It's going to cost money. There'll be some buyer's resistance. And again, I'm going to give you a free training or free session. Everyone understands. They're not stupid. Everyone understands it's a sales call. So people are not stupid and they're risking being sold to, which means that all of these ones that used to work are not as efficient anymore. What we need to hit is always a low risk and a high reward. The high reward comes in that is something that is very clear to them, something that will solve something small thing very quickly, no risk. So an example of that is, hey, I just went through the last 1,000 posts I made and I found the top 5 hooks that work for me. Who want the list of my top 5 best hooks I've used this year? For people who are looking into working with writing hooks, that would be amazing. So it's coming from something my personal point, and that's another thing right now. We need to, instead of saying, hey, you could do this, you, we want to have a language that's more personal coming from you. Share your experience, what you got, what you learned, my top 3 tips on this, or my top 3 DM openers, my top these things that made me make this thing.
Yes, and one of the important parts of this is how small it is.
Yes.
It needs to be like 5 hooks, or it needs to be 3 DM starters, or it needs to be something that is super easy for them to implement.
Short.
Because if what you could do as well, but it's an entire different thing that won't work as well, is that I just recorded an 8-hour event together with my client who wants it. Because directly it's too hard to be specific about, and it's too hard for them to consume.
Yeah.
We want to make it super, 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 super clear. What is it that you're going to get out of this?
Yeah.
And it's very small and it takes you 5 minutes to implement.
Yeah. We actually just made a training for our clients, the lead gen maximizer, where we're going through all of this. And I'm just thinking, if you look down below this episode on YouTube, you can download the complete workbook. And we actually give you, I think there is about 20 call to actions, microwave magnet post, and examples of how to do this. So go and download that. That is the best workbook of this year if you want to get leads.
That's cool.
So go and get it. You should be doing this every week. Before, you could do a lead gen once a month. It doesn't work anymore. You need to have way more offers out there, and you need to test more. Also, because not all of them will fly. You need to test way more microwave magnets to find out which one works, and those who works, we use them. Next one.
Yeah. So number 3 is stories.
Yeah.
First of all, what's amazing about stories is that they are fast and easy to consume.
Yeah.
People are already there looking, which means that you're just adding a bit of insider info from your life when they're scrolling through other people's stories. Stories is also amazing and very efficient because it gives kind of a behind the scenes view of what it is that you're doing. Great stories can be made by you being filmed while doing a client meeting, adding some text over it, maybe some music, giving a message, doing a poll.
Yeah.
It's built in a way that's very, very easy to interact with.
Yeah.
And we are looking for interactions because guess what you can do if someone votes on something on a poll that you've made on your stories? It's an opening to actually have a conversation and build a relationship with the person who interacted with the thing that we do. Yeah. So stories is a game changer.
100%. We need to utilize stories much more. They have a great reach. If you go in and see statistics and insights on your data, you can see that your stories will probably reach about 60 to 80% non-followers. Which means it's a perfect way to even reach out to new people and get new followers and reach new people that is not seeing the other content, which means that even if you're doing content on your profile, doing stories means that you are just getting in front of more eyes, more different people. And since you're already doing your microwave magnets, of course, you're going to do microwave magnets once a week in your stories. This is the perfect lead gen machine. In your stories is a 1 or 2 posts. What you want to do is erase all other stories that is going on when you are posting it, and then you add this microwave magnet into your stories.
So the shows alone, no one have to click their way through your microwave magnet.
To find it.
It should be the first thing that they see.
Yeah.
Don't overdo it. You don't need 5 chapters in your story in order to give a microwave magnet. 1 is more than enough.
Yeah. So that was stories. If you are forgetting the stories, you need to get back in those because it's a gold mine. So number 4, and this unfortunately does not go on IG, but it works on your LinkedIn, but mainly on your Facebook.
Yep.
And that's utilizing groups.
Yeah.
If you don't have a big following yourself, utilize other people's groups.
And how do you do that? You find groups where you believe your avatar hangs out,
Yeah.
and then you're not spammy.
Yeah.
You do not show up awkwardly and try to randomly start conversations with people. You go in with the intention of giving value, showing up. You're already producing content for your profile.
Yeah.
Take the piece of content, rewrite it a little bit so that instead of writing to your following, you write it to an open
It's
group.
a cold audience. They don't know who you are. So you just remember it's a cold audience. It really needs to capture their attention based on what they need to hear and speaks to them and their problem.
Yeah, you can be active on other people's posts, people who ask questions.
Yeah.
If you can go in as an
Yeah.
expert giving answers, it's great because it's going to reach all the people that are looking at that post, but also the person who wrote that post, which is a great opener for a connection. But you're also going to be able to post your micro-win magnets in the group. Let's say that you're working on Instagram, and Instagram is the place where you do all of your social media kind of branding, blah, blah, blah. I would update my Facebook, even if this is on LinkedIn. Facebook groups are, without a doubt, hands down, the absolutely best place for groups because of how they are built and the notification system behind it. So update your Facebook profile, make it look nice and tidy the way that we said in the strategy number 1, and then find the groups and then add value to those groups. Because every like, every comment, every conversation, every person you interact with is a potential future client. And literally everyone in the world could be found in different groups on Facebook. So you have infinite access to infinite amount of people if you're just prepared to step in there and be of service and give value. And of course, you can take your micro-win magnets that you posted on Instagram and then you could post it in the Facebook group. If you're working on Instagram, do that. Don't have to work a lot on Facebook just because, but you can take your micro-win magnet and then you can say, hey group, thanks for letting me be in here. Super excited to be here. I created this thing that helps you do this and get this outcome.
That helps Avatar do this.
Yeah, that helps Avatar do this and get this outcome. Takes 5 minutes to implement. I just want to ask if anyone wants it. Let me know. I'll send it to you. Done.
Yeah.
And then you can use Facebook groups for your micro-win magnets as well, at the same time as you're contributing with value, building connections with people that you would have never met, that you would never have reached with ads. People that are going to be able to build your business together with you and getting great results themselves working with you.
Yeah.
So win-win-win everywhere. Facebook groups are amazing.
Yeah. So what we're going to do with our leads now, because it's not enough we get leads. So if very shortly, what we're going to do now we get the leads.
Well, we actually made an episode last week that you want to listen to that is about DMs, because here's where we want to start Sell by Chat.
Yeah.
And we call it Sell by Chat because it is a sales conversation, but it's not a pitch fest, which means that we want to talk to them as human beings. We want to be curious about who they are, their situation, their life, and everything about them. And we want to figure out, is there anything I can do to help? And if your orientation is there anything here that I can do to help you? Then your business is going to grow and expand and you're going to get clients. If you go in with a mindset, I'm only going to talk with people because I want to sell something, sending cold DMs and all of that, big no. It's just spammy. People are just going to push you away. They already get too much of that anyway. So big no. We go in with an intention of serving. And from there, we build real relationships with people that are in the future.
And move people to whatever we want to move them to. Because let's say you have a micro-win magnet. If they were interested in this, what else would they be interested in?
Yeah.
If they raise their hand on that, what's the next step after that? Is that something you'll teach on your event? Is that something you will give on another training? You get them closer and closer this way. So there's always, and again, in the workbook down below, I give you some examples on what that would look like.
And
what
I
exactly is right.
And I really like that. And the last thing that I want to say is when you get this working, the only thing you need then in order to grow your business infinitely is a system where you are following something that is simplified and scalable. And then there you have it. You can do whatever you want with it. If you like this episode, please make sure that you smash that like button, do something with the like button, press it. That's
like it. Like this episode and subscribe to the channel.
And we'll see you in another episode releasing.
And go download your workbook down below. You're going to thank us later.
Absolutely. New episode releases every Wednesday.
Yes, see you soon.
Take care, guys.